in every single one of the 451 days that we have been in office. We have achieved more than in the more than 5,000 days that we spent powerless in opposition.
David Lammy furious as Rachel Reeves shows this live on air. You're not going to believe what just happened on live television. Because when Rachel Reeves pulled out this document, David Lammy completely lost it. And the reason why he erupted? It's not just political, it's personal. This wasn't just another quiet Sunday morning interview. It was one of those rare, unfiltered moments when the mask of unity slips and what's really going on inside the Labour Party bursts into the open for everyone to see. It all started during a live BBC political segment. Rachel Reeves, sitting calmly across from David Lammy, the new Deputy Prime Minister. The topic was meant to be simple: the UK's current economic direction and Labour's latest spending priorities. But Reeves came prepared, very prepared. Halfway through the discussion, she reached into her folder, pulled out a document, and said something that instantly changed the mood in the room. "David," she said, "these are the figures, your figures from the Foreign Office. And they show where the real overspending is happening." That's when Lammy froze. Cameras caught it. His face tightened, his jaw dropped slightly, and then he fired back. "Rachel, with all due respect, you're out of line bringing internal numbers on live TV," he snapped. Reeves didn't flinch. "The public deserves transparency," she said, looking straight into the camera. "We can't talk about fiscal responsibility abroad when we're ignoring it at home." And just like that, the Labour Party's top economic voice and its top diplomat were locked in open confrontation, broadcast to millions. Now, let's pause for a second, because this wasn't random. There's a deeper story here. For months, there's been quiet tension between Reeves and Lammy. Both are powerful, ambitious, and deeply respected within the Labour ranks, but they represent two different wings of the party. Reeves, the numbers-driven economist, is all about control, caution, and credibility with the markets. Lammy, on the other hand, is passionate, outspoken, and focused on global justice and Britain's international image. Two strong voices, two very different priorities. And when those collide, sparks fly. One Labour insider told The Telegraph, "This was a long time coming. Rachel's been frustrated with what she sees as David's free-spending attitude on international initiatives. He thinks she's too cold and bureaucratic. The cameras just happened to catch it." The reaction online? Instant. Within minutes, clips of the exchange started spreading on X, formerly Twitter. The hashtag Lammy vs. Reeves shot to the top of UK trends. One post read, "Rachel Reeves just exposed David Lammy live on air. That's not a disagreement, that's an earthquake." Another wrote, "This is what happens when transparency meets ego." Both right in their own way, but wow, the tension was real. And perhaps the most telling one came from a viewer who said, "This wasn't about numbers. It was about who's really running Labour's message." Behind the scenes, the Labour communications team reportedly went into immediate damage control. Advisors were seen rushing between the BBC studio and party HQ, trying to align the story before the morning headlines hit. But by then, it was too late. Every outlet from Sky News to The Guardian was already running the footage. And political commentators were buzzing. One BBC analyst said on air, "You can feel the tension in the room." Reeves wanted to prove she's the grown-up on the economy. Lammy wanted to protect the government's image. Both did their jobs. But doing it live like this, that's a line crossed. Ever since taking office, Starmer's government has been trying to present an image of competence, unity, and calm. No chaos. No drama. But underneath that surface, factions are forming. The so-called Reeves camp, focused on discipline and fiscal control, and the Lammy loyalists, who believe Labour must lead boldly on foreign policy and moral influence abroad. Neither side is wrong. But both are convinced the other could cost Labour its credibility with voters. And today, that internal debate became public. What makes this moment so striking is how ordinary it seemed at first. Two ministers. One discussion. A few sheets of paper. And yet, in those few seconds, Rachel Reeves managed to flip the script. Instead of defending spending choices, she exposed them. Instead of hiding numbers, she displayed them. And whether or not she meant to, she sent a message that went far beyond David Lammy. She reminded viewers that accountability isn't optional even when it's inconvenient. But that didn't stop the fallout. Sources close to Lammy say he was furious after the show, reportedly calling the move reckless and grandstanding. Others within Labour defended Reeves, saying she was simply doing what every public servant should do, telling the truth. A senior MP told The Independent, "If David can't handle a bit of scrutiny from his own side, he's in the wrong business." Still, others worry this public tension could undermine the party's image at a critical time. One strategist admitted privately, "We're heading into months of tough economic decisions. The last thing Keir Starmer needs is his own front bench fighting each other on TV." But here's what nobody's saying out loud: maybe this isn't a weakness. Maybe it's the first real sign of honest politics. Because for once, we saw two ministers disagreeing not for show, not for headlines, but out of genuine conviction. And in a political world that's often too polished, too rehearsed, too fake, that's refreshing. Yes, David Lammy was angry. And yes, Rachel Reeves was bold. But maybe that's exactly what leadership looks like when it's real. So, where does this go from here? Does Starmer step in to smooth things over, or does he quietly pick a side behind the scenes? Will Reeves' transparency strengthen her public image or make her the next target of cabinet discipline? And will Lammy recover from that outburst, or has this moment defined how he'll be seen from now on? No one knows yet. But one thing's for sure: that clip will be replayed for weeks. Because when the curtain of political politeness falls, what's left is the truth. And the truth, as Rachel Reeves just proved live on air, can shake even the calmest politician to the core. And the question now is simple. If this was just the beginning, how many more live TV moments will it take before the Labour unity story finally breaks apart?